Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the Mornville Community Library's Discovery Series. My name is Shelley, and this month we're going to work on making some beeswax wrap. So if you picked up a kit from the library already, get ready to check out what's inside. Here we go. So inside your kit, you should have a couple pieces of fabric. We've got 2/3 of a cup of beeswax pellets. We've got 2 tablespoons of some pine resin. We have 1 tablespoon of some jojoba oil. We have this paintbrush. We have some parchment paper. And as a bonus, I've added in a recipe bookmark and some information on bees in our area as well. So check out that information when you get a chance, and let's get started. So the first thing you want to do is pick one of your fabrics. I'm going to start with the larger one here. You're going to need obviously a baking sheet to work on with this. You're going to need an oven, and we're setting our oven at 200 degrees. You're going to need some tongs as well. Also going to need a hanger. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to take our pellets and we're going to add just half of our pine resin to begin with. So we just really want to coat the beeswax pellets, part of that in there. Give it a bit of a mix. We just really want to get those guys well coated, the pine resin, but we don't want too much in there. We'll hang on to that. So the reason we're adding the pine resin to the beeswax wrap is it's going to allow the wrap to give us that tacky or cling wrap type of consistency that we want when we're wrapping it around a bowl or wrapping it around some food. Great thing about this, everything is natural, everything is food safe as well. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to take our pellets with the resin on it, and we are going to spread this onto our fabric. Make sure you go kind of corner to corner, make sure you get the sides. And remember, we have another piece of fabric that we're going to be using as well. So we don't want to use all of this on here. So just a good coating on there. And then we're going to take this and we're going to put this in our 200-degree oven. You should have the racking set at the center or the middle position inside your oven. And we're going to put this in the oven for about 4 to 7 minutes. All right, so I just safely pulled mine out of the oven. And I'm going to grab my tongs here. And the next thing we're going to do is we are going to pour a little bit of the jojoba oil on to the wraps here. So just a sprinkle of it, you don't need a whole lot. And we'll grab our brush here and just keep it from moving. Go ahead and spread that all around. Get the jojoba oil mixed in there. If you've got some chunks of wax that are still not quite dissolved, you can just kind of brush those off. There we go. So what is the jojoba oil? The jojoba oil is actually a mineral oil, and it makes the food wraps more pliable and less likely to crack. So totally natural. Jojoba oil grows in the desert of Arizona and Mexico. That is going to make this so much better. We're going to grab our tongs. We're going to grab our hanger. Get a hold of your wrap fabric, a little bit more on there. Just want to be careful because it's still hot coming out of the oven. And I'm just going to hang this on one of my door handles here in the kitchen. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to repeat the same thing for this second one. So again, we still seem to have a good covering of the pine resin on here. I'm going to go ahead and just sprinkle this on. Again, make sure you get all the corners and the edges. And this is all going to melt and spread. There you go. So there might be a bit extra here. So again, grab your oven mitt, safely put this into the oven for about 4 to 7 minutes. Okay, so here are a couple that have already cooled. And I'm going to show you some examples of what we can do to save using plastic and start using our reusable wraps here. So my first example would be using it for a sandwich. We're going to give this just a fold over that side, take this side here, and that's going to keep your sandwich nice and fresh. And the first few times that you use this, you might find it's not quite sticking together as much. The more you use it, the more pliable, the more tacky it's going to get. But you can simply grab an elastic and put that around there, and that's just going to hold it a little bit better onto there. Another sample that we can do here is an apple. What a great way to keep that, nice and fresh. We're going to wrap that with the little guy that we've got here, and just using the heat of your hands to help kind of warm that wax up a bit to make it a little more tacky and adhere to what you're working on. That works out great as well. So you can certainly, most people are putting it over a bowl. You've got some leftovers or something. Instead of wasting the plastic wrap on this, you can simply put your food wrap around that. If you've got a jar or something that doesn't have a lid to it, and you need something to seal that off, simply go ahead, grab your beeswax wrap. A little bit of heat from your hand will adhere that on, and again, the more you use them, the better they're going to stick. If you need to, you can certainly grab an elastic, and that will just help hold it, especially if it goes into the fridge. When it cools, it's going to adhere even more to itself. That's about it for those guys. So just a reminder for caring for your food wraps, super simple. You just want to use some mild soap and some lukewarm water. Give it a little bit of a rinse and then just let it hang to dry. And you are ready to go to reuse your wraps over and over and over. So I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. I hope you have great success with food wraps. For more information on events that we have happening at the library, check out our website. And if you'd like to share some comments on how you did with your food wrap, send me an email at info@morinvillelibrary.ca. Our next Discovery Kit won't be till October, so have a great summer, everybody, and I will see you in the fall.